Hello YouTubers, it's Michelle, and I'm here today with some project shares, and yes, I did say shares, as in plural. I know, hard to believe, huh? Actually, I am trying my hand at putting in my submission for the Wild Orchid Crafts.com design team. They're having a open call for 4 new design team members, and I love their products, so I thought I would give a shot at trying out for their design team. So, for those of you who may be new to YouTube or may not have heard of Wild Orchid Crafts, I will have their link listed below, and I highly suggest that you check them out. They specialize in a lot of the mulberry paper flowers like these on the front of this album, and they also have a lot of different type of embellishments as well. Um, it's not just for scrapbooking, but you could use it in card making, alternate art, and even some home decor or items too. So the possibilities are endless on what you can do with their products and stuff. They have great prices, and they are located in the UK, but they have free shipping on orders over $75 or more. And I'm here in the United States, and I think when I order from them, it takes approximately 10 to 14 days. It's not too bad at all. So definitely check them out. Like I said, the link will be listed below. So let's get started with the items that I decided to do for the call. First item that I wanted to do was an alternate mini album. I'm relatively new to doing the mini albums. I've done a few, so don't have a whole lot of them under my belt. But I did want to do one with some envelopes. I haven't tried that yet, and I also wanted to try Laura Dennison, who is on YouTube following the paper trail. I wanted to try her binding system called Stack the Deck, and a lot of people I know when I watch their videos they use that system, so I wanted to try that, and this is what I came up with, and I really enjoyed doing it. It was really super easy. There were some trials and turbulations and stuff along the way. There were things that I would change when I do another one. The main thing that I would definitely wish I'd have known before I'd started was when you do your binding for the Stack the Deck, you want to use a heavyweight cardstock. I used a lighter weight cardstock, and it's just really flimsy, so it's not going to take a lot of wear and tear, which is um, kind of sad, because the book that I'm making, that I did make, is actually for my cousin, and it's a book of her kids and stuff, and pictures that I've taken of her kids over the last few years and stuff, and her kids are 6 and under, and she has 3. So I know when she takes the book home that the kids are going to want to flip through it, see pictures of themselves, just like any kid would. And like I said, this book's not going to take a lot of wear and tear. So I wish I'd have known about the cardstock, so I could have made it a little bit sturdier. But, live and learn, and I know next time that I will definitely use a thicker cardstock, and, I can always make her a new book. So, no big deal. So this is what I came up with, and first of all, I'm going to tell you the products that I use from Wild Orchid Crafts, and then we'll go into a little bit of detail about the book. Um, First is FM00174. It's the deep red mulberry paper open roses. That one would be that right there. Next is FM00463. That is the coffee brown classic sweet mulberry paper roses. That would be that one right there. The next is FM00399, and that is the deep ivory hybrid mulberry paper tea roses. Would be those small ones there. And then the last one is FM00161. That's the old gold mulberry paper open roses, and I use those on the inside, and I will point those out as we get to those. So for the paper choice, I decided to go with Fab Scraps. I absolutely love that company and their paper. Um, their papers are just gorgeous, and I use their heritage line. So this is the papers that you'll see on here. Then I use some stuff from my stash. I use some of this crocheted lace that is kind of stretchy. I use some flat back pearls. This leaf was from my stash, and then I used some of my Lindy stamp gang and sprayed it to get the green color that I wanted. The title, I decided to go with a generic title, so I could use pictures of any type. Like I could use holiday, or I could just use your everyday moment type of pictures, whatever. So I went with sweet moments, and this paper here is actually, I believe, die cuts with a view, and it's just typewriter keys, alphabets, and so I cut it out with my punch and my circle punch, and then I just pop dotted it. And then the moments, that is a canvas sticker from all my memories, and I'm not even sure that they're still in business anymore. I've had these stickers since I almost first started scrapbooking, which has been about 10, 11 years ago. So if you look closely, you'll probably see some little dust bunnies on there that I didn't wipe off before. That's how old those are. So that's the front of the cover. And the covers are made out of chipboard, and then of course the inside pages are all envelopes. So here is the first pages. And this is a picture that I took of all three kids right at Christmas. And here are my Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. And here is the old, let's see what name is that called. It is the Old Gold Mulberry Paper Open Roses, and it's FM00161. So I like to use clusters of three because they say that it's more eye appealing, and I do agree with that. Um, then I also use some lace and some beads and some bead trim, and I put dates on all of the pictures so she'd know when the pictures were taken. Then on this page, this is one of the envelopes, and the envelopes that I use are just from the dollar aisle at Michael's, where you get like 6 envelopes and 6 cards. I use those envelopes. These were craft envelopes that I used, but you could really use any color because you cover them up. So definitely check those out because they worked great. I cut a circle out with my Lifestyle Crafts dies. Love those dies. And you will see me use a lot of those. And then I put some pearls around the circle. And then I used another one of those stickers. And then this pulls out. And I'm just going to do the first page because all the pages do this. But I have the On the Edge die from Tim Holtz. Flips up and you have a picture of Aiden. And you flip it around, and then there's a picture of David. That's her oldest son. So that's that. And to the next page. And this is a picture of her little girl, Lacey. And it just pulls out like that. And you have journaling. And I will journal on the back about some of these pictures for her. Of course, I have the date again. And then here's another one of the Wild Orchid Craft flowers. And then I have some little beaded pearls. And then this also pulls out. And you have a picture there. And then back here I'm going to put some journaling for her about the pictures that I put in the pockets. So as you can see, this album has a lot of real estate for photos and for journaling, which is really great. Then on this next page, it's just a butterfly die that I cut out with the Lifestyle Crafts die. And it's a really pretty die. And then I use some little beads for the middle. And then again, I used the canvas tag or canvas stickers. And then also on here, these are just punches that I had. And I think they're also Lifestyle Craft punches. And I put a little pearl in the center there. So then this next page is a picture of David at the park. And it just pulls out right there. It's just a little belly band right there. Then I can put some journaling there. And on the belly band I put another one of those canvas stickers. And here, this is actually a tag die cut that Fab Scraps has. I put that on there and put a little strip of paper. And then this here is Martha Stewart punch. And then I put a button there and tied it off with some floss. This page here is of Aiden. And then I used the Tim Holtz gears. And I just covered them with some of the pattern paper. And then I went over it with some glossy Mod Podge to give it that glossy look. And that's how that turned out. And this one here is a little booklet that's held on with Tim Holtz binder clip. And you open it up and you have 4 pictures of Aiden. And then you open it back up here and you have pictures of David and Lacey. Just stick that over there for right now. Then here we have a picture of the 2 Otis, David and Lacey, and then of course I have my little cluster of 3 flowers down here, and these are both wild orchid, and then this is just a little organza flower that I had in my stash, and I decided to use it just to show that you can mix and match your flowers with the wild orchid craft flowers, and it looks great. So, um, they will go with whatever you have in your stash. It's awesome. Then on this page, this is just a flip up page, and I have another one of those stickers, and then you have some more pictures. Then on this page here, we have a picture of Lacey. I love this picture. She was dressed up as a fairy, and she was kissing her little wand. I absolutely love that picture. And then I took a daisy die. This was a Sizzix die, and I cut it out of chipboard, and then covered it with the pattern paper, and put a little button in the center there. And that's one of my favorite dyes from Sizzix. I love daisy flowers, so love that dye. Then on here, I wanted to use a doily, and the doilies that I had were stark white or off-white, and the off-white was not matching this cream-colored cardstock. So what I decided to try was acrylic paint. I know a lot of people use their sprays and stuff, and I haven't seen anybody use acrylic paint before, so I didn't know if it would work, but it worked like a charm. So those of you who may have acrylic paints and no sprays, there you go. You can try that and see how that works for you. And then again, I used one of those stickers, the canvas stickers. And then we're to the last page, and this is another flip up page, and I have the canvas sticker, another one of the Wild Orchid Crafts dot or flowers. Then I have some of the beads and some pretty lace. And you just open it, and you have more photos of the kids. And there's that one. I love that one. He was dressed as the Joker, and she was dressed as one of the characters from Sesame Street. So cute. And then on this last page here, again, it's another picture that I took of them the previous or the following year at Christmas. And then I have the date again. And then I have some beads, some lace, and then a cluster of the 3 flowers again. And that's that. And then on the back, all I did was I just cut out a label from my Lifestyle Crafts dies. And I put my name and the year that I made it so she would know. And then I finished it off with some more of the lace that I used in the front and the flat back pearls. So that's that. It's a really, really fun album to do, and I will definitely be making more of those. It was really fun to do. Okay. Next project that I have is called an altered paper bag. And there it is. Make sure it's in the frame. Yeah. Okay. I got this idea from Lydia at Triple Dog. I Triple Dog Dare You, and I will have her link down below. She did some altered paper bags, and they were kind of like cards, and I just thought they were really, really neat. Basically, what she did is she took one of your bags that you get. You can use your Michaels ones, but this is just one that I got like at the Dollar Tree. You know, you get like 100 for $1. because you're going to cover it, so it's really no big deal. And basically what you do is you fold up your flap. No, fold it that the right way. I had it the right way. You fold it up like that, and you have a little pocket. And then I will show you. So then your little card will go in the pocket, and then up here, this is open, and so you can put goodies in there. So these are really great for people that you want to send, like swap hostesses and stuff. You want to send them some goodies and things. So this is what I'm going to send one of my swap partners as a thank you for being my swap partner. So to begin, I'm going to tell you the items that I used on this. First thing that I used was the Autumn Gold Mulberry Paper Open Roses. That's number FM00276. That is these here. The next is FN00463. It's the Coffee Brown Classic Sweet Mulberry Paper Roses. And that would be this big brown one there. And then the last is the Olive Green Hybrid Mulberry Tea Roses. And that's FN00361. And that would be this big green one here. The paper that I chose to use for this is the Paper Company. I love this paper. It's called Gentler Times, and it's real vintagey, and I just really like the colors. And um, I did several different projects with this paper, as you will see. And my scrap room is actually in greens and yellows, so I made a project that will actually go out in my room, and you'll see that next. So basically, I just covered it front and back. I'll show you. And you don't have to cover the back if you don't want to, but I think it just gives it a nice finished look. And I used the Tim Holtz on the edge doily die. Um, I will tell you guys, do not use balsa wood with this die. I thought I was going to try to use the balsa wood because I've used it with other dies and it works fine. I nearly tore the die up, and I'm still not sure that it's okay. But it seemed to have cut this out okay. But it just stuck in there really bad, and it didn't cut it. It just tore it up, so it was really bad. Another thing I found out is that you cannot use balsa wood with sizzlets. Didn't think you could, but I thought I'd try it anyway. And I tried it, and my platform busted in two. Well, actually, not the platform, but the cutting mat. So, not a good idea. Don't try that. So, anyway, I used that on the edge die. And then down here, this is a Lifestyle Crafts. It's one of their new border dies, and I love it. This little, like, flower chain. And then I used some little pearls to tie that off. And of course, I have my little cluster of flowers there, my little cluster of flowers there. And this here is a Lifestyle Crafts bird die. And then this here is the card, and it just pulls out. And I printed this out on my printer, and it says thanks. And I cut it out with my Lifestyle Crafts oval circles, and just inked it up with some distressing. And then this here is the very popular Martha Stewart punch, butterfly punch. And then I put some pearls in the center there for his little body. And then all I have to do is just do a little message there in the back, or on there, or I can actually do it on the back if I want to. So that is that. And then of course I can fill it up with some goodies for her. So I really liked that idea. Really, really neat idea. So then my next project, probably my favorite one that I did for this. And here it is. This is what I did for my room. Make sure it's in focus. Yep, it is. And this is actually an altered canvas. It's the flat canvases that you get at the stores. And you can usually get 2 or 3 in a pack depending on the size you get. This is 8 by 10, and actually there is a 5 by 7 on top of it, and it's right there peeking through. But I've got so much stuff on here you can't even see it. But this totally did not end up like I had envisioned it. It actually ended up way better than what I envisioned, because I really wasn't planning on putting all this stuff on there. But I started putting things on there and I thought, this is going out in my room and I'm going to use it for my sign for YouTube. And I thought, I'm just going to start putting things on there that I like, things that are me. And I knew in the beginning that I definitely wanted, pictures of my fur babies and, of course, the wild orchid craft flowers. And, I wanted my name and all that stuff. But I just started adding things. And I love the way that this turned out. So again, I'm going to tell you the flowers that I used and then we'll go a little bit in detail over the sign. Okay, first of all, we used FM00463, and it's the coffee brown classic sweet mulberry paper roses. Be that one right there. Then I used FM00361, the olive green hybrid mulberry tea roses. And that would be this one here. No, I'm sorry, that would be this one here. Next would be FM00276. It's the Autumn Gold Mulberry Paper Open Roses. And that is this one here. And then we have FM00161, which is the Old Gold Mulberry Paper Open Roses. And that is the little bit darker shade of gold. Then last but not least is FM00166, and that's the Mint Green Mulberry Paper Open Roses. And that's these liner greens. And, I definitely inked everything up. I probably didn't mention that in the beginning, but everything you will see from me. Oh, goodness, there's fireworks. Um, Nothing like having fireworks during a design team submission, huh? We live right down the street from a ball field. They had a ball game tonight, so I guess they won. So anyway, like I was saying, uh, use a lot of the distress inks. So I feel like if it doesn't have a distress ink on it, it's naked. So that's just the way I feel. So everything's inked up, even some of the flowers, just to get them a little bit grunged up looking, because some of them were just a little too bright. Like these mint green ones, I had to grunge them up a little bit. So we'll start up here in the corner, and I have this big cluster of just pure yumminess. It's all the wild orchid craft flowers. I just think it's gorgeous there. So I have all of those there bunched up. Then this is the Sizzlet film strip die, and I cut it out of just regular cardstock, and then I put UT on it and heat embossed it, and then I put UT on it a second time and heat embossed it a second time, and it gives it that glossy look. Love the look of that. Then I have pictures of all my fur babies. That's Shelby and Sammy and Jackson, and then I have all of these little clusters of flowers down here in the Wild Orchid Crafts, and I used Tim Holtz memo pen because I love Tim Holtz. And then this is some of the recollection tags. Love their embellishments. Then here is my YouTube information. And again, I used the little bird from the Lifestyle Crafts die. And this here is a postcard that is actually part of the paper. It's just nothing but postcards. You can fussy cut them. So that's exactly what I did. I fussy cut it and then just put it on some pop dots to give it some dimension. Then we have the Tim Holtz dress form. Love dress forms. And then I put some lace around there and some beads, and some pearls because we love pearls. Another wild orchid craft flower. Then I have some flat back pearls here and some lace, which is just peeking out. You can barely see it. And then I've got 3 more little flowers over here from Wild Orchid Crafts. And then I have the word believe. It's a little like bauble. And I collect things with the word believe, so that's why I had to put that on there. And another little postcard sticking out. And I love banners. Everybody loves banners. So I used the Lifestyle Crafts border die. That's the banner die. And then I cut out some circles with my circle punch. And then I had a small little stamped alphabet. And I stamped the word create. Then up here we have a Recollections bird. This is from their newer embellishments that they just came out with, and it's got like a little bobble hanging from it. Love it. And then we've got some buttons because I love to use buttons. You will see me using a lot of buttons on different projects. And then I have tied the banner off with twine. I love to use twine and jute and stuff like that. I love the natural look of it. And then here is the bird cage just peeking out there. You can barely see it, but there's the bird cage. And then I've got some small little flowers on there. And then I've got, I used the Ziva Decor pearl pins to do the little centers there. And then for the actual sign, this is the hanging sign die from Tim Holtz. And I cut this out of the balsa wood. That's why I say you can cut dies. You can use balsa wood with the dies. Just for some reason, that doily die did not work. So I cut this, and then I took my distress stain and walnut ink, and I painted that. And so it's got a real nice wood look to it, wood grain look to it. And then I printed out my name on the computer, cut it out with the Lifestyle Crafts oval die, and just put it on there. And then we've got some little small little butterflies because I love butterflies. And I've got it hanging by some baker's twine. And then I dyed my steam binding because it was white. And I took some glimmer mist and the wheat field and I dyed it that color. And then I hand crinkled it myself and tied the little double bow up there. And so that's it. And when I started out, like I said, I didn't have, any intentions of this being so elaborate and so collagey looking. But I started out and I painted it a real pretty, green color. This green up here that you see in acrylic paint. And then I sponged it with some a whitewash. I took some white or cream paint and watered it down real, a lot. And I went over that, and then I sponged it with the green again, and it had a really neat marbled effect, but you can't even see it because I covered it up. So, but I did do that, and it looked really, really neat. And then, of course, I'll show you the back. I mean, it's nothing, but that'll show you some of the papers that come in that collection. I mean, it's an awesome collection. So I was really super excited to do this because this was something that I've been wanting to do because I know a lot of people on YouTube have their signs and stuff that they show at the beginning of their videos. So everybody, this will be the sign now that you will see at the beginning of all my videos now. And I'm really proud of how it turned out, and it will go really great with the color scheme of my scrapbook. So that is my second project, or actually my third project. Then my next two projects are going to be 12 by 12 layouts. Make sure that that's all in there. Now, I'm going to say that this is where I do my best work, I think, is on layouts. I'm pretty new to the mini albums. I mean, I've done mini albums over the last few years and stuff, but I still don't feel like I'm up to par as a lot of people are with them. And I still got a lot of learning to do as far as doing mini albums and altered art. Um, I really love the canvas that I just did, but I could do another project and maybe not be quite as happy with it. I just never know. But my layouts, I usually feel like I do a pretty good job with those. So, if I were to be lucky enough to, make the design team, this is probably what you will see a lot of my projects be, is layouts. So, uh, Wild Orchid Crafts, the people who are determining um, who they want on their design team or whatever, if this is what you're looking for, uh, then I can definitely say that layouts are my strong point. So again, I used some more of the paper from TPC Studios, and I just love this paper. And it's called what was it I said? It's called Gentler Times. Well, it's down there. And it's funny because when I got the paper, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew what picture I wanted to scrap, and I knew how pretty much how I wanted to do it. And this here, the Gentler Times, that's actually the little paper strip from the top of the paper that just tells the line of the paper. So I just cut it and I use that for my actual title. Now, this layout, they laugh at my scrapbook store. They say it weighs about 5 pounds, and it probably does because I've got a lot of layering of paper and embellishments on this layout. So I'm going to tell you first of all what flowers I used from Wild Orchid Crafts. The first one would be FM00161, and it's the Old Gold Mulberry Paper Open Roses. That would be these here. The next would be FN00166, and that's the Mint Green Mulberry Paper Open Roses. That's those. And then the last is FM00310, and it's the Olive Green Mulberry Paper Roses. That's these here. So what I did is I decided to make like just kind of frame it and do a lot of layering techniques, and that's basically what I did. And I wanted to use this um, unfinished wood piece that I'd gotten at Joann's. So I basically layered a bunch of paper, a bunch of the papers, and then in each corner I put my little three trio of the Wild Orchid Craft flowers. And then again, I used that postcard paper that I told you I just absolutely love. Cut those out, pop dotted them, inked them up. Then we have the fence here, and I just took my Tim Holtz Distress Stain and stained it with walnut stain, and then I went over it with some of the distressings to give it that weathered look. Then again, like I said, this is just the strip at the top of the paper that says the name of the paper. Cut that, and then put a little Wild Orchid Craft flower on each side. Use some baker's twine and some more of the seam binding that I hand colored with the Glimmer Mist. Then another one of the postcards here, and then I did the same technique that I did with the uh, canvas on the hanging sign. Cut it out of the balsa wood, then painted it with the distress stain, and then I went over it with some of the distress inks to give it that aged look. And again, I used some more baker's twine and the seam binding. And then we have some little pearls right there, and then these little birds and vines, they're a sizzlet die, and I just pop dotted the birds to give them a little bit of dimension. This picture is of my other cousin's two children, and like I said, when I see this paper, I knew exactly what picture I wanted to do. I knew the title and everything, because these two, I don't know how old they were here. I would say probably about 3 and 5 maybe, and now they're, I think one's in 5th grade, one's in 7th grade, and this age they were sweet, lovable to each other, just bestest friends. I remember they used to say, I'm gonna marry, the other one and stuff, their brother and sister, but it was still cute, because they're that age. Now they're at that age where they don't want anything to do with each other, and it's like, Mom, he's touching me, Mom, she's touching me, that age. So that's why I decided it would be so cute to do this picture and put Gentler Times, because this definitely was Gentler Times for them. So that is my layout for that one. And then we have one more layout. This is the final project. And I love the way this turned out. And it's solely due to the paper, because the paper is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, make sure that that is in line or in frame. This is the new Authentic Glory paper, And this paper is gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. It has a real nice texture to it. Now, I will say the 6x6 does not have texture to it, but the 12x12 does. So I'm going to tell you what products I used, and then we'll go into detail on it. First, I used FM00303. It's the Burgundy Hybrid Mulberry Tea Roses. That would be this great big one right there. Then next is FM00464 Antique Blue Classic Sweet Mulberry Paper Roses. That would be these here. And I absolutely love these flowers. And that's because blue is my favorite color, of course. But these are just gorgeous. They're probably my favorite flower that I've gotten for this so far. Next is FN00399, and that's the Deep Ivory Hybrid Mulberry Paper Tea Roses. That would be these little flowers right there. Then we have FM00158. That's the Navy Blue Mulberry Paper Open Roses. That would be these right there. And last but not least is FM00153. That's the Deep Red Mulberry Paper Opal Roses. That would be these smaller red roses. So that is the products that I used from Wild Orchid Crafts. And what I did is I wanted this to really have an aged vintage look. First of all, this is a picture of my Shelby Lynn. She's a Yorkie. And that's another thing. If I were to be so lucky to be chosen as a design team member, you will also see a lot of projects to do with fur babies. I know you don't see a lot of those type of projects. So, um, that's, I don't have any kids, so my fur babies are my children, basically. And I do a lot of scrapping and stuff with them. So that's another thing, just a little shout out there. But what I decided to do is I wanted to give it a real aged look and stuff. So I took my Distress It All from Zetter, and if you haven't got one of those or don't know what those are, definitely check those out because that is the coolest tool. And it gives you this distressed edge all around. Love that tool. It's one of my favorite tools. And of course I inked everything. And then I did some paper tearing. Love to do that. Then I used some more doilies from my stash, and again I used the acrylic paint, like a charm. This circle here, this is a Sizzix Pro die. I cut that out with chipboard, and then I cut the pattern paper out and covered it with that. Then the other circles were cut with my Colossal. Then these little flowers here are Cottage Cuts dies. Absolutely gorgeous. I used the banner die again from Wild Orchid, from Lifestyle Crafts, and then I did my circle punches, and then the word Yorkie is using some of the alphabet stickers that comes with the paper collection, and then I used some more jute to tie the banner. Then again I used the authentic strip, and I cut that out. That's just for the top of the paper line. It's the brand of the paper. I just cut that out. So the title of the page is Authentic Yorkie, because she is definitely an authentic Yorkie, and she has an attitude to go with it. And then I have the three little flowers up here. Then down here I have this beautiful collage of all these flowers. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Such yumminess. Yummy, yummy, yumminess. And then, like I said, I love buttons, so you'll see some buttons there, and some more buttons there, and tie those off with some fibers. And then this here, this is actually, if you know the dollar or $2 boxes that you can get at the craft stores for photo boxes. This is actually the book plate that was on the front of one of those photo boxes, because the photo box actually, uh, the lid split and it wasn't any good anymore. And I thought, well, I could use that book plate on there for something. So I kept the book plate, and sure enough, I used that and I framed her name. And then, of course, I just used more of the pattern paper to just do a little strip there. So that is my page, and then of course that's Shelby, looking cute as ever. But anyway, that is my page, and that is my submission to the Wild Orchid Crafts design team call. Like I said, if you've not checked their site out, definitely go check it out. The link will be below. And also, go and check out their YouTube channel as well. There have been lots and lots and lots of people try out for this design team call. And I mean, they've done some awesome things. So definitely go and check them out. You can check them out on Wild Orchid Crafts YouTube channel, and I'll have that link below. And then also, one of their design team members, Natasha, who goes by Anastasia, and her name on here is Enastasia. She also has a video uploaded for the design team call where people are uploading their videos there as well. So definitely go there and check out the videos too, and give the people some love and comment on their projects and stuff, because I mean they've done some amazing things. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm trying out, because these people just blow me away with their talent. But I'm hoping that maybe, I've done something that's a little bit different than other people. Like I said, I will be doing a lot of layouts, and I'll also be doing a lot of things be that would be fur baby themed, and that's just something you don't see a lot of. Is definitely the fur baby themed stuff. And anyway, so I'm just crossing my fingers, and if I don't make it, that's okay too, because I've got some wonderful projects done, and I'm just happy I got my sign done. I'm so happy I have a sign for YouTube now. So wish me luck, and like I said, go show the other people some love that have also tried out for the design team. And definitely check out wildorchidcrafts.com. Like I said, they have free shipping for orders over $75 or more. You can't beat that, because it doesn't take much to spend $75 on flowers. That's not hard to do, because they're so pretty. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed all these different fun projects, and hopefully I will be back soon with some more projects. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye bye, everybody.